Welcome, I'm Dugout Man, and I'd like to welcome you to the highlights package for my grassroots Sandbach United save. And what we're going to do is very quickly run through all the results, all the goals, every single one will be shown during the course of this season. This is possibly the last highlights package of the season as we come to the nitty-gritty at the end of the season. Any more highlights that need to be shown, I will show in my main videos. But just for today, we're going to run through, there's 12 matches to get through, so we're going to crack on. The first game that we come to is against Cheadle Town away, and so it's always going to be a difficult game. But Knight picks up and gives the ball to Dean Atkinson, who absolutely wellies it in. And then straight from there, Grant to Metz, and Metz with another fantastic goal. So 2-0 against Cheadle Town. That was a fantastic result. And it's one of the final games really for Caius Metz. He might feature in a couple more, but not many more, before he leaves us for pastures new, and we have to find that replacement for him. So then we have another away match against New Mills, and this is in the North West Counties League Cup, and we're away from home. There was literally only one goal in the game, and it was Jai Grant with this free kick. 3 goals in a row that you've seen in this highlights package, and they've all been absolute thundercrackers for the outside of the area. Very happy. Again, New Mills are a very good side, and we've done well to beat them 1-0. So then we come to another away match against Ellesmere Rangers. Ellesmere Rangers beat us earlier in the season, so was it time for us to extract a little revenge? As Grant gives it to Prudo, who gives it to Grant, who puts the ball right into Sean Ray's path, and Sean Ray scores in one of his rare appearances. It's then an equaliser from Wilson, who played really well in the first encounter between Ellesmere Rangers and ourselves, before Dan Smith, the replacement for Caius Metz, scores a great cool finish. And then Shuka finally puts the ball on the head of Dan Smith again as he gets his second. Fulfilling his role as the replacement for Caius Metz and scoring 2 goals in the first game as the new main striker. We could be really pleased with Dan Smith's performance there. And in general, it was nice to exact revenge on Ellesmere Rangers. 3-1 away from home. Great result. So then we finally get to play a home game, and it's against Wythenshawe Amateurs. And we're hoping to continue a good run in the league, which is seeing us push towards those promotion spots. So Hobson picks up the ball for the Amateurs, and it's slotted away quite majestically by Maloney. And then Papril clears the ball forward for Shuka, and in the 68th minute Metz finds the goal. Papril again with a long ball, and again Metz picks up the ball. 2-1 to Sandbach United in the 78th minute. Shuka finishes the game with a free kick. 3-1. Caius Metz scores. He's literally with us for about a week or so more, and then he moves on to pastures new. But that was a great way to be signing yourself off. 2 goals there. Chris Shuka with the free kick. 3-1. So then we come to the away leg against the team who we played against when it all began. Alsager Town versus Sandbach United at Alsager's ground. This is the 4th away match of this highlights package when we've only played 1 home game. But Dan Smith is on again, and he lays it to Prudo. Dean Atkinson to Prudo, and it's crossed in, and Dan Smith applies the finish. It was the only goal of the game. Another fantastic win in a game which we played really well. Alsager didn't create too many chances to scare us. We move on to the next highlights. So we come to this game against Burskow. I'm not totally sure which. This is in the North West Counties League Cup again. We've just knocked New Mills out of it. Burskow are a good side, much better than us, and they represent a higher division. So let's see how we get on against Bursko. The first highlight of note is in the 14th minute when Brown slots it home from outside the area, and then Brown slots home the penalty. 2 goals from David Brown. Sadly, that sees the end of our North West Counties League Cup escapades, but it was a good effort by the guys, and we go down away from home again, of course, 2-0. So 5 away games and to 1 home game. It's been a long time on the road for Sandbach United. So now we come to the FA Vars 4th round cup, and finally we get to show you another home game. It is Sandbach United against Brockenhurst. Brockenhurst, again, I think are a tier above us in the pyramid. So off we go with the highlights. We're in the white, and Josh, I just want to rewind that just so that you can see this again. What I want to particularly focus on is Knight and his control. So as Johnson plays it in, just watch this turn with the outside of his foot and placed in to the goal. Fantastic goal from Lee Knight. Makes it 1-0. Dean Atkinson then races through. The keeper saves, and Lee Knight makes it 2-0 to Sandbach United. Things are going very well as Shuker plays Delico on the right, who puts the ball in, and Dan Smith gets yet another goal. 5 goals in his last 3 appearances. And then Dan Smith again, racing forward, superb finish from outside the area, and in the 66th minute, Dan Smith scores his second. So Brockenhurst finally breaks, score a goal. We only hope at this point it is not a comeback, but Shuker puts the ball in, and it's headed in. I'm not even sure who was the scorer of that one, it was so quick. It was Bailey Prudo, and Achilles scored for Brockenhurst, another consolation goal, but 5-2 winners. We roll on to the next round of the FA Vars. So we finally get to have a run of home games, and this is the second in that run. Sandbach at home to Stockport Town. Stockport Town were a team that I predicted to do quite well in the league this season, but they're having an absolute shocker. But let's see whether their fortunes can turn around as they take on a resurgent Sandbach United. So Grant picks a ball on the outside of the area in the 9th minute. Elliott, a new signing that we'll talk about, crosses it into Knight, who feeds it on to Dan Smith, who scores yet another goal. As Mehmet crosses the ball and Casey headers it home, it's 1-1, and then Prudo from an Elliott corner makes it 2-1. Another fantastic win for Sandbach United against Stockport Town, and Dan Smith on the score sheet yet again. Caius Metz is just a distant memory now. So now we come to Abbey Hay. Abbey Hay are one of the few teams who have actually managed to beat us this season. And we go straight into the highlights to see if we can exact revenge upon Abbey Hay. So a great ball in from Paparil for the free kick, direct to Smith. Direct football at its best, 1-0. In the 44th minute though, Abbey Hay bring all things square, 1-1. And then in the 70th minute, Fuller, good ball in, and Dan Smith, there he is again, another 2 goals for Dan Smith. So 2-1, a great win against a team who were real rivals to our promotion hopes. Sandbach are flying high, and that was just another example of how they could do today. So then we come to the game against Vauxhall. Sandbach again at home at the Sandbach Community Football Centre. And the deadlock wasn't broken in this match till the 56th minute, and this is how it happened. Grant picks up the ball, sprays it out wide to Fuller, ball crossed into Knight, who heads it into the top right corner. And it was the only goal of the game, and another fantastic win for Sandbach United, 1-0 against Vauxhall. So now we come to an away match against mid-table West Didsbury and Chorlton, and obviously with them being mid-table and us flying high near the top of the league, this has got to be a continuation of the winning run that we've got, surely. So as we roll a highlight, Irving to Flitcroft. As you can see, it's snowing, the pitch is white, the ball is yellow, and Kay scores from an absolute mile out. Fantastic goal for them. 1-0 to West Didsbury and Chorlton. Prudo then picked out Dan Smith, whose control was excellent and finish was brilliant. 1-1. And then In the 58th minute, Flitcroft scores a penalty, which means that West Didsbury record a victory, should I say, against Sandbach United, and leave us questioning how the heck we got to the top of the league with performances like that. So we come to another away match against Cheadle Heath. This is the final one of our highlights package, and we need to pick ourselves back up after a defeat. And in the 44th minute against Cheadle Heath, we're given a penalty, which helps us to at least get off to a start where we can take the lead. 1-0, Lee Knight with the goal. And then with only another minute played, still before half time, somehow we see another goal. Dean Atkinson from the corner and Knight with the finish. So 2-0, Lee Knight with a couple of goals. He's been a bit quiet on the goals front over the last few games, so it's nice to see him on the score sheet again. 2-1. So very quickly we'll look at the league and see where that leaves us. A lot of good wins, a lot of good results. In fact, let's go to the fixtures first and show you what it looks like. So the last time you saw the live comm videos, it was West Didsbury and Chilton, we won 1-0, Camelaird won 1-0, Street 5-0. And then you can see a lot of green, a couple of reds. I think it's 10 league matches, possibly 9. So where has that left us in the league? Of course, the Eagle Eye viewers among us would have seen that we were actually and are number 1 in the league. And with only 9 games to play for ourselves, we're in a pretty good position at the moment. Abbey Hay are the team that we need to keep ahead of. 62 points there on, 5 points behind us. So we're probably looking at we need maybe 6 wins. I think might be enough to see us up. Not necessarily mathematically now, but I think realistically, if we can get 6 more wins in the last 9 games, then hopefully that will be enough to see us up. And as I say, this is the last of the highlights packages, so the final rundown of the season will come in main videos as we look to continue our push towards promotion into the next division. Wythenshawe Town, Barton, Eccleshaw, Abbey Hulton, New Mills, Oswestry. Now Barton is a cup match, by the way. Oswestry, Stone, Barnton, Main Road and St Martin's. And if we got through the cup, obviously there might be more cup matches to come as well. Yeah, so until the main videos, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the highlights package. See you again soon.